welcome to YarnGasm. I'm Kristen and this is episode 275. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're a new viewer, welcome to the podcast. This is a podcast mainly about knitting, sewing, and making all the things in Brooklyn, New York, where I'm from and I live with my husband Dennis and our adorable cat Bella. And as always, I'm so happy that you're taking some time out of your day to chat about those things with me. And it's actually a really beautiful day here in Brooklyn, New York. It is sunny out, it is hot, very, very hot. It's just a quarter after 9 o'clock in the morning. Clearly I'm getting an early start this morning. I actually woke up at 6 o'clock because the cat, she was sitting there mewing or chirping, whatever you want to call it. So she woke me up and I was like, you know what, I'm already up. I'm just gonna get up out of bed and seize the day, you know, so to speak. So yeah, I woke up early, wrote some show notes, typed up the newsletter, and yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm all gussied up and chatting with you lovely people. So anyway, I have a fun show for you guys today. It's hopefully going to be a little shorter than last week's episode. Last week was a lot of stuff to cram in, so I like to keep my episodes around 30 minutes to 25 to 30 minutes long. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this won't surpass that time limit. But anyway, knitting. We have knitting to talk about. Oh, no, wait, we have Embroidery to talk about first. So yes, if you would like to follow me on social media, I am at Voolenvine on Instagram, where I'm most active, and I'm also Voolenvine on Ravelry. And if you haven't already, please feel free to join the YarnGasm Ravelry group. It's a lively chatter thread where you can talk about this episode and other episodes, partake in our knit-alongs and giveaways, and yeah, just a lot of lots of inspiration happening over there and chatter. We currently have the Box O Socks knit along happening. It's a year-long knit along. All the details are in there, but if you love knitting socks and that's your jam, join us. Although sadly, I have to say that my sock knitting mojo has kind of not been really happening. I don't know, like I just have not felt the urge to knit. I just haven't felt the urge to knit socks lately, but that has not stopped me from checking out the thread and seeing all of the socks that you guys are knitting up. It's crazy. That thread is huge. So anyway, do check it out. There's that, and then there's the Year of the Garment knit along, another knit along that's currently going on throughout the year of 2018. So that's a very casual knit along where just knit garments, however, as many or as little as you like. So yeah, there's that. And then I'm trying to think what else. Yes, show notes for this episode and every other episode can be found over on the blog at www.yarngasmpodcast.com. And speaking of knit-alongs and giveaways and the like, I have a giveaway winner to announce this week. If you tuned in last week, I had the wonderful opportunity to give away one of these lovely kits, and this is the After the Rain kit, a really awesome collaboration between three of my wonderful dear friends, Gabby of Once Upon a Corgi, Becky of the Stringing It Together podcast, and Hannah of the Crafty Chat podcast and the Corner of Craft on Etsy. And this is the second collaboration that they've done together, and they joined forces again and created this beautiful sock kit. So this is Once Upon a Corgi yarn in her Marie Curie yarn base, which is 75% superwash Corriedale and 25% nylon, and it is super squishy, super woolly, and divine. So yeah, here this is really beautiful spring green colorway is her Fiddleheads colorway, and this really cute peachy pink is Puppy Paws. So the idea is this is the main body of the sock, and then you can use this mini skein as contrasting heels, cuffs, and toes. I will pop a photo of the pattern here by Becky, as you can see it and how everything works and comes together. But the cutest part about this kit is this really awesome little stitch marker right here, handmade by the lovely and amazing and talented Hannah of the Corner of Craft on Etsy.com and the Crafty Chat podcast. And guys, if you have not been keeping up with these lovely ladies, where have you been? Come out from under your log, because they are amazing. So I will of course link to their podcasts and their appropriate shops in the show notes, so definitely check them out. But without further ado, and the winner of the After the Rain Socks kit is number 228, Wits Knit Wits, Knits, and Stitch. So thank you so much to everybody who participated in there. The prompt was to let me know what your favorite thing about spring was, and there were just so many wonderful replies and comments in that thread, and yeah, just really makes me happy that spring is finally here and that summer is even closer. So anyway, congrats Wits, Knits, and Stitch. Please do get in touch with me on Ravelry. Send me a PM with the subject line, After the Rain giveaway winner or something of that nature. And let me know your shipping address and I will get your prize out to you as soon as possible. So yay, thank you so much to everybody else who participated in that, and big thanks again to Becky and to Hannah and to Gabby, and yay! Okay, so now that we have Administrati out of the way, let's talk knitting, shall we? I don't have much knitting to share with you this week because, again, I know I say this I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks. I'm working on some shawl designs. I'm working on my designs and I can't talk about them until they're ready. So I could talk about them if I wanted to, but that's just my personal preference. I like to keep things under wraps until they're ready because, you guys, I am a sucker for surprises. Me personally, I don't like surprises, but I do love surprising other people. So yeah, I want to surprise you all when it is all said and done. So that's the method behind my madness. But in the meantime, I have been making a lot of progress on, well, not a lot, but some progress on my Like a Cloud cardigan, a gorgeous pattern by Joji Locatelli. And I finished the back part. So here it is. Yeah. So here's the neck part, and then I have started one of the front panels. So this is a super simple, super potato chippy, so to speak, pattern. It's pretty much replaced my sock knitting mojo, basically. I've just been going at it, and the pattern is incredibly intuitive. I don't really have to think about it at all. Yeah, I'm just going back and forth, and the only thing that I will say, and Joji actually sent out an update to the pattern. This should have like occurred to me while I was knitting it, but it really didn't. I was just like, oh, it's just kind of like a mock seam, so to speak. But where you begin one of the front panels, you can see here, this is where I picked up the stitches and continued on. This is supposed to appear seamless, and I already ripped, like, as I was knitting it, I'm like, I don't know if I like that big of a gap between the pattern repeat. So I did rip back, and then I thought that I thought that I picked up the stitches at the appropriate point, but there's still kind of a noticeable gap there. So I've just been kind of like in denial with myself, like, oh, I don't mind it, it's fine, you know. But I think I'm gonna rip back and then try to make this as seamless as possible. But as I mentioned, Joji did send out an update to the pattern explaining that, you know, yeah, the pattern is supposed to be continuous, and where you should start on the pattern repeat after you're done picking up all the stitches. So anyway, it should have occurred to me from the get-go, but yeah, when it's a very simple pattern, my brain just kind of checks out for a little bit and I don't really put two and two together. So anyway, not Joji's fault, not the pattern's fault, it's just my own fault. So anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna rip back, but I'm not upset about that because honestly, this has just been knitting up super fast, super easy. And yeah, I heard from some people after posting this on Instagram, some people were saying that they're, you know, they really want to knit it, but they're too afraid. Honestly, if you can knit and you can purl, you can knit this. You can knit this, and because it's supposed to be an oversized cardigan, you really don't have to worry about shaping at all. I'm knitting an oversized version of this as well. So yeah, and I did not, as I mentioned last week, I did not swatch. So I know I broke a cardinal rule when it comes to knitting sweaters because you were supposed to swatch, and I did not swatch. So living on the edge, you guys. That is where I am with my Like a Cloud cardigan pattern by Joji Locatelli, and loving every stitch of it. So that is that. Moving along to rabbit holes, let's talk weaving. I don't have any weaving to share with you this week, but as I mentioned last week, I bit the bullet, I took the plunge and ordered myself a 16-inch rigid heddle loom, an Ashford Sample It 16-inch rigid heddle loom. And it's a basic table loom. It's pretty compact and portable. My mother-in-law had gifted me a 10-inch of the same make back in October, and I've been having so much fun with it, just playing around, getting acclimated with weaving and whatnot. And yeah, but as I'm getting more used to weaving and learning more about it, it creates scarves that are very narrow, which is something that I really don't wear. I generally like wearing wider shawls, so that was the reasoning behind me getting a 16-inch. It creates wider woven fabric, so I can create, you know, do a little stash busting and create wider shawls. So I assembled it, and I just have to make some time to warp it and get that going. But I'm very excited about it. They are very beginner friendly if you're looking to get into weaving. And yeah, you can definitely, I will post links in the show notes where you can actually find them on the web. The 10-inch loom is from the Woolery online, and then the 16-inch, I actually found a really good deal on the 16-inch loom on Etsy from the Spinnery. So in case you're curious about that, yeah, links in the show notes. But yeah, so that's where I am with weaving. But embroidery, last week I showed off my new, well, you know, new rabbit hole for me, kind of, or revisiting an old rabbit hole, embroidery. So while I was at EYF, I picked up one of their tote bags, which had a graphic of a yarn ball, but the lines, the illustration is actually an embroidery sampler. So you can, the idea is, I'll show it to you right now. The idea is that you can embroider along the lines. So I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's really fun. I've been having so much fun learning new embroidery stitches, and you can see I did make quite a bit of progress on it. This one is really fun. I've just been, you know, again, like, here's a book that I picked up at Michael's last week, and I've just been, I like the fact that it's a tangible book that I can just flip to. I don't have to be sitting at the computer, which I'm notorious for. Whenever I'm making something, I'm always sitting at the computer. When I'm knitting, I have my PDF file open, or a podcast, while I have a podcast happening simultaneously. That's how I roll. But sometimes it's just nice to have a book that I can physically open and flip to, as opposed to having a million windows open on my browser and searching for tutorials online. So anyway, yeah, that's how I'm rolling with this. But yeah, this is where I am, and having a lot of fun. This has just been kind of like a mindless, you know, when I don't feel like knitting, or when I'm hanging out with Dennis on the sofa watching TV, I've just been kind of plugging away at this little number right here. So yeah, and these are, if you are just tuning in, this is a Q-snap frame, and I got this on Amazon. And yeah, if you are not comfortable working with embroidery hoops, this is another option. And I like this because it doesn't put wrinkles into your embroidery fabric, if that makes any sense. So yay, that's where I am with that. And I say that's where I am with that a lot on this podcast. I gotta vary it up a little bit. Anyway, yeah, so embroidery. And I really have to find a better way to manage my embroidery floss. I know there are those little cards that you can get and wrap it around. I think I really have to, if I'm really gonna get into this, I have to invest in that. Yeah, that's kind of the method to my madness behind there. I'm like, well, I'm not hardcore into embroidery yet, so it really doesn't make sense for me to invest in one of those, what do you call them, boxes with the little cards that you can wrap the embroidery floss around. So I don't know, everything in its place, right? I don't know, I should just invest in one of those at any rate, because yeah, I feel like embroidery is something that I keep coming back to, you know, here and there. But anyway, we'll see where that goes. Yeah, so okay, this is going to be a very short episode. So anyway, we are already up to sewing, and I do have a finished object to share with you as far as sewing is concerned, and that is, are you ready for it? Shorts. And you're probably thinking, Kristen, who the heck are you? Why did you make yourself a pair of shorts? You never wear pants. And actually, during the summer, I have been wearing cutoff jeans and jean shorts. So those are really easy to just chuck on, like especially when Dennis and I go to the Cape. We're constantly doing things like hiking and biking and going to the beach, all things that I'm just not really accustomed to normally. They're things that I don't really gravitate towards, but they do make my life a lot easier when we're being active during the summer. So yeah, I was browsing the interweb like you do for, I don't know, some shorts. And then I stumbled on these on the Purl SoHo website. So purlsoho.com. They are actually a shop in New York City, and they have a website, and they have a lot of great, I have to say, they do have a lot of great tutorials on their site and a lot of free patterns. And this was a free sewing pattern, and I thought they were super cute, and it calls for, the suggested fabric is chambray with a bit of Liberty fabric. So, and this is fabric that I had, this chambray fabric, I don't know if you can see, but it's like a lightweight woven cotton, like it's gray. And then this fabric right here was a lovely gift from my friend and employee, Emily, who is Slow Fashion Rebel. She gifted this to me on my birthday. She actually gave me several remnants of fabric that she had in her stash that she's like, you know, I'm never gonna use any of these, and they have your name all over it because they're mauve, and you know, I thought you'd get some more use out of them than I would. So Emily, thank you so much. They have been getting a lot of use. And this was actually it looked like Liberty fabric to me, but I wasn't 100% sure until she confirmed it over the weekend. But this is Liberty Tana Lawn, and yeah, it worked out so well. And it was a very small remnant that she gave me, and she was actually surprised that I was able to squeeze half a pair of shorts out of them. So this pattern worked out very, very well, and so well that I'm going to actually be making myself quite a few of these over the summer. So yeah, and again, the pattern is free. It's incredibly easy. I whipped these up in maybe about an hour and a half. So basically they give you 2 pattern pieces to download, and then they give you instructions on how to cut out the appropriate waistband size. And the directions, I have to say, were very, very clear, very informative, very easy to follow. So I would actually say, if you are a newbie sewist, this is a really good pattern for getting into sewing. So, and as far as the innards go, and again, like the elastic waistband, not really a fan of elastic waistbands, but for some reason I'm on an elastic waistband kick. Go figure. But anyway, my plan for these is just to wear them and then put a longer shirt on top of it so the waistband won't be seen at all. So anyway, yeah, the innards, I always like showing the inside of things, and I used a serger just to clean up my edges. However, the pattern does give instructions for using a zigzag stitch to clean up your edges, but I don't know if you can see. Yeah, I just used a serger to kind of neaten up my edges, and then I will say the bias tape. I do not like making bias tape. It is a pain in the ass, if you ask me. But anyway, I made it, and you know, especially with chambray, it's a little tricky, but this is a heavier weight chambray than the pattern actually calls for, so it was a little bit more tricky. First, you cut the fabric on the bias, you stitch it all together to create one long strip of fabric, and then you use a little metal doodly-doo. Technical terms, guys. So you feed the fabric through the metal piece, which folds the fabric in on itself, and as you're pulling it through the metal piece, you take the iron and chase it. You pull, chase, pull, chase, pull, chase, and that creates bias tape, which is a strip of fabric with the edges folded over. So you can use the bias tape to create edges along garments like this. So it creates a really nice finished edge on things. So yay! So that's where I am with that. I did it again, guys. I did it again. Whatever. So yeah, and I actually have to tack that down too, so I'm just gonna like blind hem stitch that down. But anyway, yeah, there's just some elastic in there, and yeah, so highly recommend this pattern. It's awesome. And I did get a fabric haul today to make more of these, because yeah, well, I do love this fabric. It is a little pink for me, but I'm still going to wear this nevertheless. But I did want to get something that was more toned down a little bit, so to speak. So yeah, I went on fabric.com this is my new guilty pleasure, you guys. You know, there's some really nice yarn out there that people shamelessly buy because they just like it. Like, you know, Woolmiza. Woolmiza is expensive yarn. Cashmere is expensive too. Liberty fabric, not cheap. So, but yeah, it is a little treat to myself that I purchased this fabric. I purchased about 3 yards because I fell in love with it and I want to make a dress out of it and I want to make a pair of shorts out of it. So I am definitely going to get a lot of use out of this fabric, but here's the fabric that I purchased. It is so pretty. It is so paisley goth. Oh gosh, I'm in love. I'm in love, guys. So yeah, this is going to be a pair of shorts and a dress. This might want to be another Réglissé dress that I was wearing last week by Deer and Joe, and this is going to be another pair of shorts. So yeah, Liberty fabric. I also purchased some basic organic cotton jersey because I definitely want to make some more t-shirts and blouses for myself. I live in jersey fabric a lot, especially in the winter. So yeah, I purchased I think about 4 yards of this so I can get a lot of stuff out of this. So I probably, you know, I'm probably gonna make a lady skater dress out of this. So anyway, yeah, the possibilities are endless with black fabric, so go figure. So yeah, there's that. And then I saw this. This is a little out of my comfort zone, but for some reason it just wanted to come home with me. So yeah, this is a little crazy. It's jersey fabric, but it has kind of like a metallic print to it. So I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, I just thought it was so cool. This might actually just become a lady skater dress because I just think it's awesome. It's like this weird spiderweb tie-dye metallic hot mess that's happening, and yeah, I could not resist, and I love it. I love it. It's so cool. So there's that. And then this more chambray, but it is glittery chambray. I don't know if you can see that, but it is so cool, you guys. So the idea is to make a pair of glitzy shorts out of this, but I don't know if that's too glitzy. So I don't know. Maybe I'll make 2 pairs of these. So this will be like my nighttime, you know, going out pair of shorts. And then I did get some more lighter weight chambray compared to what I used for the last pair of shorts. So a little bit toned down for during the day. I don't know, but why not wear a pair of glitter shorts during the day? So anyway, yeah, just some ideas. And yeah, you might be noticing a color scheme going on. I'm really trying to hone in on colors that I'm actually going to wear. Because lately I feel like in the past I've been getting prints that are fun, but stuff that I don't normally gravitate towards. So I'm really trying to be conscious about the prints and colors that I purchase for sewing. So I feel like I'm on the right track with this. But wait, there's more. And then, yeah, I don't wear a lot of stripes because it is quite preppy, a little too preppy for me, but I saw this. Yeah. I'll wear these types of stripes. These are fine. I like these types of stripes. This color scheme, you got it, has my number. But I think this wants to be a lark, I think it's a lark tee by Grainline Studio. It's just a very basic fitted t-shirt with satin sleeves and cannot go wrong with that. That is my personal haul. However, I have kind of been wanting to sew something for Dennis. His birthday's coming up and I have yet to sew him something. So I decided I was going to, I've had this in my pattern stash for a while, but I think I want to just make him a basic button-down dress shirt. So not even a dress shirt, just a casual shirt he can chuck on whenever. So yeah, I'm gonna make him view A. So this is McCall's M6044, and this only requires 2 yards of fabric. So I did purchase him some chambray. This is the chambray episode, guys. I am falling down a rabbit hole of chambray, go figure. But it's this light gray with polka dots. He's approved this, he likes it, so I figured it had a little interest, but not too crazy over the top. But yeah, so that is gonna be that. Yay! So anyway, go figure. So anyway, that is my crazy fabric haul that I got. So I think I'm all set for summer. I mean, the idea is to kind of create a capsule, a summer capsule wardrobe, so to speak, and I think I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So I'm definitely going to be whipping up another pair of shorts this weekend, and hopefully a top out of this fabric, and just some, you know, bits and pieces, some separates that I can pull together and to have when the weather gets really, really hot. So anyway, yeah, and in case you're curious, I am wearing a handmade dress. This is, I'm totally blanking on the number, but it's one of those, it's a pattern by Gertie. So Butterick in the down bar, doobly-doo, number blah blah blah. So anyway, it'll all be down there. But yeah, this is one of my favorite Gertie patterns by Gertie. But I'll stand up, and this is challis fabric, and yeah, just a very simple princess themed bodice and gathered flared skirt. So very princessy, but I love this silhouette so much. And this is ooh, sorry, I shook the camera. But yeah, this is one of my favorite go-to dresses. This is the first version that I made of it, and then I made another version, and I'm just waiting to get the mojo to make another one, because yeah, while it is a very relatively simple construction, it does require a bit of cutting of fabric. So I have to I don't even have enough room in my craft room to do it. I have to go down to the living room and stretch it out across the living room floor and do a lot of rotary cutting. And anyway, it's a little involved like that, but once all the pieces are cut out, it's pretty smooth sailing from there, with the exception of the adjustable straps. So I mean, those two are fairly easy. You just have to get used to assembling the straps within the little sliders that you have to get for that. But yeah, otherwise I really love this dress. It's been getting a lot of wear, perfect for summer. And yeah, so anyway, that is it for sewing. I am gonna move along to shop update, because I'm having a shop update tomorrow, Friday, June 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Let me go get the yarn that's gonna be in the shop. Okay, so for this week, I will have some more Edinburgh in the shop, and here it is on Nouveau, and here it is on Ghost Lace. And I have to say, this batch turned out a little bit lighter than it normally does, so just so you know, it is a lighter batch than my usual contrasty Edinburgh. But that's the beauty of hand-dyed yarn. No batch is the same. Some turn out lighter, some turn out darker, but that's the way this batch turned out, and I will have to take some new photos to reflect that on the update. So just so you know. And here is Weep. So I will have some more Weep in stock, which is my go-to gray. This is what I'm knitting. This is the color that I'm knitting my Like a Cloud color out of. So here it is on Volca, and here it is on Nouveau. And I will also have these on Ghost Lace and Infinite Lace as well. I will also have some more tea leaves. These don't have labels on them yet, but I'm bringing Footsie back. So Footsie and Blitzed will be in the shop this week, and that is my BFL sock base. And Blitzed is my Superwash Merino Nylon Gold Stellina base, and this one right here is Volca, my Merino Nylon Cashmere. So that'll be in the shop. And then I dyed up a Strange Brew, like I do every week. So this one is called Mermaid Parade, because this weekend, if you're not familiar, Coney Island has the annual Mermaid Day Parade, which I have never been to actually, but I really love seeing. I want to go one day because you get to get dressed up. You know, it's a crazy party, but look it up online, just Coney Island Mermaid Parade, and the costumes are just insane. Some friends of ours are going, but you know, Dennis and I are not going to be able to go this year. But anyway, I do love a good excuse to name a colorway after a mermaid. So yeah, Mermaid Parade. So there's that. And I haven't dyed it yet, but I will be having more Grim in the shop. So definitely stop by and check it out. And yes, if you would like to, as I mention every week, if you would like to stay in the loop about what colors are going to be in the shop and Voolenvine Yarns news and whatnot, please do sign up for the newsletter. I send it out every week and try to, you know, let you guys know what colors to expect in every update. And yeah, just general Voolenvine Yarns news. So yeah. Anyway, that said, that is it for shop update. I hope you can make it, and I will see you there. But in the meantime, I am going to move along to Blather, which is a segment where I chat about what's been going on in my life, should you care to stick around. Okay, so as far as what's been happening in my life stuff, this week just been busy, productive, trying to catch up with stuff since I got back from vacation. And this weekend, Dennis and I are having a barbecue, so it'll be our first barbecue of our first party / barbecue of the year. It's not really a party, just kind of like a small get together with our friends, our neighbors, and yeah, just really low key. And yeah, so can't wait for that. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, otherwise I've just been doing a lot of spring cleaning, going through my craft room, trying to organize and get rid of stuff that I don't need anymore or want. So I know I was actually listening to the Curious Handmade podcast with Helen Stewart, and I was like chuckling throughout the entire time. She's actually doing a bit of spring cleaning herself, and I was just like, I am right there with you. Because yeah, I remember her talking about how she's trying to create a sanctuary in her bedroom and like make it this really nice, tranquil place, and that has been a dream of mine ever since we moved into this place, and it has never gotten there. And no matter how many times I've gone through my wardrobe, you know, donated clothes, dusted, tidied, try to put things in their place, it's just, for some reason, it's not happening, and I don't know why. I know Dennis also has like a lot of stuff, so I also feel like it might just be a moot point, like I will never get there. So it's like, oh my gosh, you know, it feels like I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I feel like our bedroom definitely needs a little bit of love, like as far as the decor is concerned, because right now we just have bare walls. We have some pictures hung up, but they're just there to be there, and they really don't, I don't know. I definitely want to kind of like revamp our bedroom and put a little love into it, because yeah, a bedroom should be nice, relaxing, tranquil, and a nice place to retreat, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that is definitely an ongoing project for me. But my craft room definitely got a little bit of a cleaning this month. I want to say on Tuesday. Yeah, I just went through my stash, pulled out a bunch of skeins. So I'm definitely going to be having a de-stash at some point. So I think I'm going to do a little Instagram de-stash, so be on the lookout for that. So as like a few of my friends have said, like they have just been very ruthless when it comes to throwing things away that they just don't need anymore or want, and you know, it's donating things. I don't throw everything away, but I do donate a good chunk of everything. But yeah, lately I've just been incredibly ruthless when it comes to tidying and just, you know, decluttering and everything. I have read Marie Kondo's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying. Some of her stuff I agree with, some of her ideas I don't so much. So this past weekend I actually heard a quote by Seth Godin. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but yeah, he's a really interesting writer and blogger on the interwebs when it comes to business and other stuff. But above all things, I heard a quote from him that really resonated with me. So when it comes to clutter, he says anything that you've purchased for yourself in the past is a gift from your past self to your present self. So that's when you can kind of tie in the Marie Kondo mentality and say, you know, okay, this is a gift from myself, from my past self. Does it bring me joy anymore? If it doesn't, it's going. So that's kind of been the method behind my madness this week when it comes to tidying up. But Anyway, enough babble about that. I'm gonna leave it there. So that said, happy knitting, and I will see you next time. Bye.